Welcome! Let's explore a bit more what a trovador is and how this figure has evolved in Hispanic culture. We are now going to look at the medieval trovador as a historic predecessor of the musical movement of trova. In medieval Europe, the trovadores were the first authors who used vernacular languages with literary purposes. That is, the first to create poetry in their own languages. They wrote long poems to be recited and sung before the royal courts. They were also the first professionals of literature, and conscious of this, of the modern Western world. A related type of artist was the juglar. The juglares also recited and played different instruments around public spaces. Their job was to entertain people, and for this, they sometimes wore attractive costumes and used humor. They eventually got into courts to entertain royalty, and many times collaborated with trovadores in that the latter wrote poems and the former interpreted them. Juglares also traveled quite a lot, following pilgrims or moving between townships to make a living, so they were very well informed of what was going on in the regions. These two medieval figures serve as ancestors to a new type of artist that emerged in Latin America, first in South America and then in Cuba in the 60s and 70s. These artists began to produce music to listen to rather than to dance to, with lyrics that told stories about people and places with a message for a better world. How did it all begin? Former colonies in Africa were seeking independence. The US saw the birth and growth of the civil rights movement. Independence movements were strong in the Caribbean. And it was in this context in the 60s that Nueva Trova was born in Cuba, right after Castro's revolution. The new trovadores that emerged in Cuba in the 60s, as Leonel was telling you about, were young artists who, full of ideals, believed in the power of the art to change the world. As Nueva Trova star Silvio Rodríguez has said, "Nuestro trabajo trata de hacer al hombre mejor. Estamos totalmente comprometidos con eso. Our job is to try to make humankind better. We are totally engaged with this." Nueva Trova received a legacy from old trova artists, who in older times used to go from bars to local shops singing romantic songs guitar in hand. Nueva Trova modern bards still sing their songs as personal accounts of the history and struggles of revolutionary spirits around Latin America. They reject banality or commercialism, preferring to keep their voices personal and autobiographical, but projecting common thoughts and goals. Collaboration and the continuous presence in public spaces are two of the main characteristics of what is considered activist art. A way of seeing artistic production not as exclusive to the elites, but democratically available to everyone to enjoy. This is one of the goals of Nueva Trova artists and can be seen in the type of festivals they've organized along the years, the collaborative networks they have built, and even in the very simple stage persona they present to the public. Dressed in everyday clothes with just their guitar, their voices, and their message. So, what have we discussed today about trovadores and the trova movement in Latin America? We have seen that the figure of the trovador is not new, but it was already present in medieval Europe. We have discussed the context of political revolt in which the Nueva Trova was born. And we have described trova musicians as engaged artists who are looking to improve life for Latin America and the world with an anti-commercial message. In the next topic, we're going to discuss the lyrics of the song La Rosa de los Vientos in detail. Before you start the next topic, we suggest you listen to the song.